Hello and welcome back to Art Club. We are continuing with our snowman week here, making even more adorableness, so I am excited to get this started with you. First, let's figure out what supplies we're all going to need, because it's a little different than the last few classes. Today we're going to need that little paper doily. We're going to need our plastic cup, scissors, glue. Ideally, if you've got both kinds of glue, liquid and a glue stick, that's the best case scenario, but even if you just have one or the other, we'll make that work. We're going to need our pom-poms, specifically the white ones for today. We're going to need white paper. You can see I'm just using some of my leftovers from earlier in the week. But if you don't have any leftovers, you can just use a new piece as well. Something to color with. So markers, crayons, anything that you've got will work for that. And we're also going to want a pencil. I'm going to be using, instead of a pencil, a permanent marker, just because it's easier to see on the camera. But you can use a pencil. In fact, I recommend a pencil for you. That way, if any mistakes are made, we can always go ahead and erase them. All right, so we are going to be making these adorable little snow globe cups with a snowman inside of it. See, my little snowballs are all falling to the back side there. But get an idea of what that's going to look like once it's all done. So our first step is going to take the longest. And of course, like always, if you need to pause the video or rewind at any point, go ahead and do that. So our first step is going to be designing the snowman that's going to go inside of our snow globe. So we need to make sure that this snowman, of course, is going to fit in here. So I think the smartest thing to do to begin with is to just kind of cut a little square piece of paper that looks like it would fit inside of our cup. And test that out. Yep, that looks pretty good. Now notice it does stick out a little bit over the edge, but that's okay because we're going to have these little tabs anyway that are going to reduce some of the height of the paper. So even if it sticks out a little bit, like how that is right there, I'm not even going to worry about that. That's fine. Okay, so now that I've got that, I'm going to start drawing my my snowman, and this is where you guys can have fun with this and really make it unique and your own. I'll show you a few of the ones that I've done so far. I've got this last one, has some earmuffs on it. My first one I did has the traditional top hat. And I've also done one that has more like a snow cap on it. So you guys can choose, but your goal is to basically create some sort of a snowman. That marker is not really working well. Let's try a new one. So maybe this one has a top hat once again. I always want to start with whatever the hat is, because otherwise if you want a hat and you start with the head, a lot of times there ends up not being room at the top anymore. So maybe then my snowman's head comes here. Maybe we want a little scarf on him, like that. And of course we need the snowman body. I'm going to do some buttons right away. I always love buttons on a snowman. I'm going to have him wearing some mittens and his twig arms kind of popping on out. And the same on that other side. Some mittens and twig arms. Here's what he's looking like so far. Hey guys. Alright, let's see. Let's give him that carrot nose. And some eyes and a smile. Yay! That is one happy looking snowman. Now you're noticing though, I did save a little room down here. Remember how it kind of stuck out the edge of the cup? So we're all going to need to make sure that our snowman is sitting on top of a box. Which sounds really weird, right? Like what? Why would we build a snowman on top of a box? That seems really like a strange thing to do, but trust me, we're going to need that. in order for our snowman to stand up on top of the doily and inside of our snow globe, we need the box, I promise you. So once you've got your snowman drawn out, go ahead and get some colors out and begin to make it beautiful. So let's see, maybe I'll do kind of like a reddish color for that ribbon. We're going to do the orange nose. Oh my goodness, so cute. Maybe some blue mittens. But you guys go ahead and get creative with yours. Maybe you want some designs on it. Maybe you want to add some glitter glue and add some glitter to it. You have fun. Make this your own. I'm going to do a green scarf on this guy. I love these markers. I'm having fun with them because they've got a thick and a thin side, which is always fun. It's easier to color in specific spaces a little bit better when you've got the right size. Okay? So once we've got that done, we're going to cut Frosty out here. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little trick because you can cut out your snowman like this. You can see I've gone like down in between all of these tiny little spaces because I really took my time on that one. Okay? Even still, you can see I could trim up a few of these little areas where you can still see some white of the paper. But maybe you're kind of newer to cutting with scissors and that seems like a lot of work. It is a lot of work. Or maybe you just don't have enough time to do all that. You can also just kind of go around the outline of your snowman too. So I can kind of go kind of like this. Just going to show you the difference between. So you could go where you've got kind of just like almost a little bubble around them. You could go a little bit further yet. So you can see this one I did a little bit more detail, but I didn't go in those tiny little spaces in between. Or if you're up for it, you've got some time and you feel like really flexing those scissor cutting skills, you can go all the way down in between. Up to you, whatever you like. But whatever method you're choosing, it's going to look cute. And our next step then is we need to, you know that little box that I said Frosty had to be sitting on? We are going to cut that in half up to Frosty's bottom. So now it's gonna kind of look like Frosty's got some little legs. Walking about town, right? That's how Frosty has to get around, right? Anyway, those little legs, we are going to bend one of them forward. Frosty's going to be doing some splits now. That's what's happening. Frosty's doing some splits. So one leg gets bent forward like that. The other leg is getting bent backward like that. So can we see how we've got one leg going one way, the other leg going the other way? Just like that. And this way, I'm now able to take my glue stick or liquid glue, either way works. And I am going to put glue on the bottom of each of Frosty's legs. Just like that. And once we've got glue on, we're going to set that down into the middle of the doily. And you can see, this is why we had to have that little box that turned into legs that turned into the splits. That's why we needed it. So that Frosty can stand up all on his own on the doily here. Okay, so you can kind of see how each leg goes in one direction or the other. We're almost there, you guys. We've got this. So our next step, while we're letting that dry a little bit, our next step is that we want to get some white pom-poms into that cup. And you can choose however many you think look good in there. I think I usually have somewhere between like 8 and 15, something like that. So they all have a little different number inside of them. But I just want to put those pom-poms inside of here. And then I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to use the liquid glue for this one. If you don't have it, if all you have is the glue stick, that'll work. Just make sure you put a lot of it on. Like, make sure that's really thick on there. Alright, so I'm taking this all the way around the edge till I get back to the beginning. We'll close my glue. That's important to do, right? So you can see I've got glue running all the way around the edge. And then I'm going to take my snowman, flip them upside down, and make sure that that glue is attaching to the doily. Now, this might actually be the hardest part right here. I need to let this dry for probably like a half hour or so. So we need to leave it upside down. This is my one that's already dry. You'll notice that the doily has holes all over it, doesn't it? So if I were to set this with wet liquid glue like this, it is now going to get glued to my table or desk or paper or whatever I set it onto. That would be bad. We do not want that to happen. So we're going to let this dry while upside down. And once it's had like a half hour or so to dry, then it's ready to go. Now you can shake it all around and have fun with it and set it out as a cute little decoration. But for now, Frosty's got to hang out upside down for the time being. We'll just leave him right there. Once these are done, please be sure share them to the Hall of Frame because I'm going to need to see this. These are cute. So come on into our slides down at the bottom. It says, share your art in the Hall of Fame. So we just click on that. It brings us right to the Hall of Fame for this week, for this project. And we're going to scroll down. You can see there's all kinds of cute stuff in there already. Scroll down until we see an open frame. And we're going to claim our frame by putting in our name right down below. Then we come up to where it says Insert, Image, and Camera. And we're going to take a picture with our Chromebook camera. Just hold it on up. Show it on off. So cute. Takes just a few seconds. So I hope you guys do share with us how those turned out. Thank you so much for joining in again. I hope that you love this project, and we'll see you next time.